Hello and welcome back to another video with Maria Speaks and Pearls of Inspiration. I am so excited to have you join in on today. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit that bell so that whenever I am dropping a video, you are notified immediately. On tonight, we're going to talk about faith and faith forward, right? And what that looks like for you and where you are in your life currently. I hope this evening that you have writing utensils, that you have a notebook, and that you also have a pen or a pencil that you can jot down some serious notes that you'll need to take that's going to help you follow through with me on this video, and also to follow up and follow through with the things that you have to do for yourself as well. So let us get started, right? Tonight we're talking about faith forward, right? My faith has legs. My faith has authority. My faith has a place in this earth, and it's time now for me to faith forward. Yes, yes, yes. Faith forward. So on tonight, we're going to talk about those of us who are creators and or creative, and those of us that like to do various things, and we have gifts, we have talents, we have abilities, but we don't know what to do with what we have because the world and the market has told us that the world and the market is already saturated with things that we want to do. You're absolutely right. The marketplace is saturated with a lot of gifted and talented people. It's saturated, absolutely right. But the saturation is not completed. Why? Because you're not there yet. You're right. You are not there yet. So the market may be saturated, but it's not saturated completely because the market and the world is still missing you. So we know that people often tell us that, and we tell ourselves that the market's too saturated. There's too many brands of ice cream. There's too many brands of sodas. There's too many brands of breads. There's too many brands and branches of various McDonald's and Burger Kings and things like that. You're absolutely right? But the world is still waiting on you because the world is not complete unless you show up. So tonight we're going to discuss faith forward. We know that there are various actors and actresses and movies and producers and songwriters and doctors and lawyers and firefighters and schools and nonprofits. You're absolutely right. The world and the market is saturated with those gifts and those talents. However, you're not there yet. So it's not complete. And I want you to be encouraged today to know that you have exactly what it takes and that you have been created to also produce. You've been created to make your mark in the earth and your mark in the marketplace. So it's time now for you to stop being afraid. It's time now for you to put that faith to work. It's one thing to have faith, but it's another thing not to do anything with it. The scripture says in the book of James 2:6, it says, "For as the body without the spirit is dead," right? So faith without works is dead as well. So if you have faith and you don't have any works, you're not doing anything with it, the faith is just you wishing and just you hoping and just you desiring, but your faith is dead unless you do the work, right? So I'm saying all of these things to you on tonight just to encourage you, and also to trigger something in you so that you can get to work and know that the world is not complete unless you show up with your product that God has given you. Listen, you also have to partner your faith with courage, right? Partner your faith with courage, because without the courage with your faith, the faith is just sitting there doing nothing. Your courage is what gives you that right, to go forward, to do what you need to do. It gives you that it gives you that it gives you that ability to do what you're scared to do. And I understand that sometimes we're really anxious, we're really excited, and we're really nervous about stepping out there and stepping outside the box. But in order for you to be a part of that saturated world, you got to have the courage, and you have to do what you need to do, and do it scared. It's okay. Don't allow fear to cripple you from doing what God has given you to do, because we also now know that God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and that of a sound mind. So you cannot have a sound mind if you have fear, right? In order for you to faith it forward, your mind must be sound, right? You must have the right frame of mind with that courage. So I'm encouraging you on today to get back in the rink, right? Get back to doing what you begin to work on already. It's not over yet because you have what it takes to get everything done. But you need to faith forward. Faith is action. You have to do something with the faith that God has put on the inside of you. and not be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone. And oftentimes we are afraid to step outside of our comfort zone because we fear the opinions of other people. We're intimidated by those who've been out there longer than us. But I'm telling you that the world is waiting on you, and there's mass production that needs to happen, but it cannot happen yet because you have not shown up. So do what you need to do to get out there, to be who God has created you to be in the earth. The world needs you. And there's other things that I want to discuss as well too. Oftentimes we hear people saying, oh, don't do this, don't do that, because if you do this and you do that, you're just going to wind up nowhere. You're just going to wind up, back in the same place you started off at. It's okay to take a chance. It's okay to take a leap, right? A leap of faith, an opportunity that awaits you. It's okay for you to walk with that thing, because faith forward. People also say, well, the grass is not always green on the other side. You're absolutely right. It may not be green yet, but once my feet step on that grass, it will become greener than it already was. And if it was not green, it will become green, right? Because I need to step outside of my comfort zone and step outside of the box. I'm telling you today that we're in a good time, right? This season that we're in, there is a grace for us to produce. There's a grace for us to reproduce. There's a grace for us to step outside the box, to step outside of ourselves. So the season is ripe. What are you going to do with the season that has been presented to you? You cannot allow fear to cripple you any longer. You cannot allow how you feel about what the market looks like to stagnate you any longer. You must step outside of yourself and do what it is that you have been destined to do, because the world and the market needs your product, right? I know that there are various nonprofits out here. There's various schools out here. There's various ministries, organizations out here, but it's missing you. There's various lines of cosmetics out here. There's various lines of body moisturizers, body milks and hair milks and body butters out here, but the world does not have you. I know that there's people out there that's selling hair. There's cosmetology schools. There's cosmetologists. There's stylists out there, but the world does not have you. And I want to encourage you on today that you have exactly what it takes. There's a lot of people who God has created to be authors. I know that there's trillions of authors out there, but you're that next New York best time seller. So you have to get to work and faith it forward. If you don't remember anything I say on tonight, remember this: faith forward. Faith forward. Because if you just keep your faith contained, your faith cannot move. So partner your courage with that faith and move forward with the faith that God has given you. And another thing that we kind of fail to do is remain consistent, right? You must remain consistent in what God has placed at your hands to do. Because if he put something in your hands to do and you're not consistent, then you will never complete it. You'll never get started. You'll never finish what God has given you to finish. So consistency and compliance, those are key navigators that you need in order to faith forward, in order for you to get out there to do what you need to do, right? Some of us want to eat healthier. Some of us want to fix some things about ourselves, but we don't have the courage to do so. So today I am that courage for you, right? I am that inspiration, that pearl of inspiration to let you know that it's time for you to get back out there and do what you need to do. And if you've never started, it's time now to get started. We're at a really good time in the year where people typically are planning for their 2024. They're planning for their next year ahead. We're in a good time right now. So some people are getting prepared to write their visions down. Some people are getting prepared to do vision board parties and vision board workshops and things like that. This is a great time for you to write down the vision. It's a great time for you to get your vision board out and put your visions down, because we are visual people. And when we see things, we act on things, right? I can remember myself doing a vision board some years ago, and I put various things on that vision board that I desired to see. And some of those things came to pass in that past year, and there's still some things that are happening for me now because I wrote down that vision. I took the time and I worked towards my goals as well. I was consistent and I was compliant as it related to me completing those tasks that I need to complete to get to the place where I wanted to get at. And things are still coming to pass. Things are still coming to fruition because I still believe, and my faith is forward, right? My faith is not just stuck on a piece of paper. My faith is not just stuck on a vision board, on a poster board, right? Or on a bulletin board, but my faith is moving forward. So I'm encouraging you on today to faith it forward, right? Not fake it forward, but faith it forward. forward. Not fake it till you make it, but faith it until you make it. I'm encouraging you on today to walk in that consistency that God's calling you to walk into. And I have another scripture that I want to read for you as well. And these scriptures will also be in the description box of this video on today. And the scripture is Hebrews 1:11. And it reads, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. You may not see it on today, right? But it's faith. Now faith. I have the faith now. I don't see the outcome of what I desire to do, what I'm believing for, and what I'm going to do. But I have the faith at this moment right now. And now I am deciding to do something with the faith, and not to keep my faith in a box, not to keep my faith in my mind, but to do something in faith forward for my future, so that I can be in that saturated market. I can be one of the ones that are now in the saturated market, right? Because you have to move with your faith. Your faith needs legs, and you are the legs. Your faith needs arms, and you are the arm. Your faith needs that creativity, and you are the one that are the creative that God has called you to be. There are some of us that need to dig deep and dig on the inside to be the innovator that we are. There are some inventions that's on the inside of us that we need to pull those inventions out and do something with those inventions. If the person that desire to make light just kept it in their mind and they didn't do anything with it, they just had this desire, they wished, they hoped, and all this kind of good stuff. They had the creativity to do it, they were innovative enough to do it, and they had the faith to do it, and they work towards it. And then there was the light that was created. Everything that we utilize on today, it was a thought, and it was faith, and there was also some work behind it. So we have exactly what it takes. It's not too late for you to do what you need to do. You have a book on the inside of you. You have series of books on the inside of you. You have a mandate to teach people. You have a mandate to cultivate people. You have a mandate in this world, amen, to make this world a brighter and a better place. So use what you have. You have, some people have just a personality to gauge with other people, to engage and to gauge with people. So use what you have. Everything that you need is on the inside of you. So on today, I want you to be encouraged on today, not to allow another moment to go by in your life that you are not faithing it forward, right? That you're not putting your faith into action, that you're not feeling sorry for yourself, having a pity party for yourself. Get up and do something about it, right? And you can do it. I'm telling you that all you need to do is just tap on the inside of yourself, because all that you need is in you. And another thing that we don't do often as people, we don't research, right? So if you desire to do a podcast, research podcasts. Look up those who are successful in podcasting and making podcasts and things like that. Research. If you are interested in opening up a cosmetic line, do the research. Follow those people who are successful and who has been successful with their cosmetic line. Do the work, right? Faith without works is dead. You desire to be a lash tech. You desire to be a nail tech. You desire to be a cosmetologist. You desire, to be an esthetician. Do the research. Go to school. Get the education. There's so much free education out here, right? That we pass by it because it does not look like we think it should look like. Google. It's free. Whatever you need, it's on Google, right? Do your research. Do your research. There's people that want to become content creators. Do your research. Do what you need to do, and God will help you to do the rest. He's just waiting for you to get into gear. You think about this. When you get in your car, right? You get in your car and you unlock it with the remote, starter. Either you're going to remote start or you're going to unlock it with that remote right to the car, and then you're going to get in your car, and then hopefully you're going to put the seatbelt on, and then you're going to turn the lights on, and then you're going to also turn on the ignition. But the car will not move unless you turn the ignition on. And once you turn the ignition on, the car will not shift gears to go to reverse or to go into drive unless you pull the gear to where you need to be at. So today you need to have that same mindset, right? Get that remote control to that car. Beep, beep, beep. unlock that car, get inside that vehicle, turn the ignition on, switch gears, right? Put that car into gear and move forward in the things that you're supposed to be working on in this time. It's not too late for you. You didn't pass your season, did not pass you by. It's not over for you. Why is it not over for you? Because you still have breath in your body. You've come across this video. This video has been so insightful to you. It's been encouraging to you. So get in that vehicle, that car, and get to shifting those gears and get to moving. What you need is on the inside of you. Do your research. Research those who have gone before you that are successful in what it is that you desire to do, right? You want to go back to school, register for some classes, right? There are grants out there, right? There are scholarships out there for you. There's no excuse for you not to faith forward. We're in a time now where we all have a great opportunity, right? To faith forward. Step outside the box of your own insecurities. Step outside the box of your own self-sabotaging. Step outside the box of you criticizing and being so critical of your own self and your own abilities, right? Don't worry about what people say. They're doing their job. And their job is to discourage you, right? Don't worry about that. You utilize that discouragement to make you go harder and to go faster. Let that be the fuel for your gas tank, for your car, right? Let the negativity fuel you to move forward in what God is calling you to do, right? So I want you to be encouraged tonight to faith forward. And another thing I want to share with you as well is that you have to make sure that you are not reverting back to the old habits that you once had that are stagnating you. Don't revert back to the bad crowd. Don't revert back to negativity, because that's almost like a weight that's holding on to you, that's not allowing you to pursue what is ahead of you. Okay, so I want you to make sure that you've jotted down some key points that I said on today that you can utilize for your own personal areas of growth, your own personal journey, to help you to faith forward and put your faith into action and have that courage. I'm encouraging you on this evening to do what you need to do and do it scared. Don't wait for everything to become perfect, right? Because nothing in this world is perfect. Work with what you have. You know, there's people that want to be photographers, right? And they want to get into, doing photo shoots for people, things like that. And they may not necessarily have, a photo shoot booth. They may not necessarily have a studio where they can do it at. You can rent a room in the library. It's free. You can reserve a room for free. Reserve it. Rent it, reserve it. It's free, so you don't have to rent it. But reserve a room in the hall in the library to set up, so that you can do your photos. Don't allow what you do not currently have to prevent you from moving forward. Faith forward. There are people that have their cosmetology license and they may say, well, hey, I don't have a shop of my own. Do some research. There are some shops out here that may have chairs for rent. There may be some shops out here that have a whole shop for rent, and they're just waiting on someone to give somebody an opportunity, and you're that person. It's time for us to put down the pride and stop being afraid to reach out to people for help and for assistance. Know that we're not on the island, and that there's people that God has assigned to assist you on your journey, right? Some of us need to be mentored. Reach out to a mentor. Shameless plug. I'm a mentor, a successful mentor, right? Some of us need to be coach. We need life coach, transformational life coach. Shameless plug. I am a life coach. Some of us need leadership development. Shameless plug. I am a leadership developer. So I assist leaders in becoming better. I assist people in becoming better and to sharpen the tools that they have, right? So there is no excuse not to move forward in what you're supposed to do. The market is not oversaturated, because it still needs you. It's not too many people out here doing this, too many people out here doing that. It still needs you. If you have a desire to get into real estate, there's trillions of realtors in the world, but the world's missing you. You desire to be a general contractor. There's a lot of general contractors, but you're not there yet, right? I desire to be an electrician, but no buts. No buts. Do what it is that you need to do. I want to open up this business. I want to start this business. I desire to get my LLC. I desire to get my nonprofit status, my incorporation. But everyone's doing it. Everyone has it. That's fine. but we need you. So I'm encouraging you on today to rid every excuse that come up in your mind that tells you why you should not do it. When those voices come to your mind and tell you why you should not do it, that is the fuel that you need to do it. Just be like Nike and just do it. There's a lot of radio personalities out here, right? The world is oversaturated with them, right? But that does not mean that you cannot be the next radio personality. There's a lot of talk shows out here. That does not mean that you cannot be the next talk show. There's a lot of people out here that's doing plays and sitcoms, but that does not mean that you cannot do the plays and you cannot do the sitcoms. Do it. There's people doing all different types of conferences out here. Every day, every weekend, there's a conference that's happening. That does not mean that you cannot do yours. Do not worry about what everyone else is doing. Put the blinders on that you don't even see them, right? And that all you're doing is looking forward at what it is that you are supposed to be doing, because you're wasting great time and valuable time coming up with excuses of why you can't do what God created you to do. The market's not saturated enough because the market has not met you. So take out time on this week to jot down some visions, some goals, some desires, those aspirations that you have. Allow them to become awakened. Don't sit on your gifts. Don't sit on your talent. Don't sit on your abilities that God has given you. Just do it. There's so many daycare centers out here. They're here. There's a daycare here. There's a daycare there. So open up the daycare. When people are looking, where I'm from, we have a chain of Wawa stores, right? And I believe that the Wawa stores, they range from probably like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, all the way down to some parts of Virginia. And I heard that there's also some in Florida as well. They didn't care that BP gas stations. They didn't care that Q-tip or QT gas station. They didn't care that 7-Elevens were all over the place. That did not stop that person who created Wawa from creating Wawa. They still created Wawa. And guess what? The tri-state area, New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, right? Virginia is now saturated with Wawa. Why? Because he said, you know what? I have an idea. And I don't care that there's a lot of BP gas stations. There's a lot of 7-Elevens. There's a lot of various gas stations and things like that. There, in stores and things like that, in quick stops and corner stores. I'm still going to create this Wawa. And guess what? Wawa has grown tremendously. They didn't care that there was a McDonald's or there was a Burger King or there was a Rita's Water Ice or there was a Dairy Queen. They didn't care. They sell all of that on the inside there. They sell fries by Wawa. They sell hoagies by Wawa. They sell water ices by Wawa. They sell coffee. They didn't care that Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, they didn't care about that. So why do you? I'm telling you, the market's now oversaturated because the market is missing you. The grass may be greener and it may not be greener, but once you step your feet on that grass, oh, whoo, the green of that grass is going to be so beautiful because, wow, they finally made it. So I encourage you on tonight to do what you have to do. Write the book. Start vlogging. Start writing blogs. Do it. Start traveling. Do it. You want to become a travel agent? You have what it takes. Do your research. Do it. You have a lip line. Do it. We know that MAC makeup, oh my God, in Ulta, they're all over the place. Even the drugstores have cosmetics in there, right? We get it. But that's not stopping these people who are birthing cosmetic lines every single day. Lashes. You want to sell lashes? Well, everybody's selling them. Everybody can't be selling them because you're not selling them yet. You want to come up with a clothing brand and label? Everyone's doing it. Why should I do it? Why shouldn't you do it? Because the market does not have you. Right? So today, you take these pearls of inspiration and you get to work. Get to work to do what you need to do. because the world is waiting for you. It's not saturated enough because it does not have you. It's time for you to produce what's on the inside of you because the world needs you. So I thank you so much for tuning in to this YouTube video on tonight about faith forward, faith in action, working with your faith and not against your faith. Please follow me on Instagram, Maria Ushery, Facebook, Maria Ushery, TikTok, Maria Ushery. You can also visit my website at www.mariaushery.com. Have a great day. Faith forward until we meet again. Take care.